Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah. Thank you for being here. Today I will be guiding you through a yoga practice to strengthen your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs. So traditionally in yoga classes, there are very few opportunities to strengthen the backs of the legs. There are lots and lots of poses to stretch the hamstrings, but almost no poses to strengthen them. So this is a really great class to do to make your yoga practice a little bit more balanced. For this practice, you will need a block. If you don't have a block, if there is some other household object you have that you can substitute, like a little box, maybe a tissue box, maybe a book, I encourage you to try that out. Or you can just skip the part in the video where we use the block. It's just a small part of the class. Okay, when you are ready, you can meet me in a seated position with your legs straight out in front of you, starting here in staff pose. Shoulders will stack over top of the hips. Lift the top of your head up towards the sky. Legs are straight out in front of you. If you need to have a bend in your legs though, you can do that for sure, not a problem. Wherever you are, can you sit up a little bit taller? Ground down through the heels of your feet and flex all 10 toes up towards the sky. Ground down also through your hips, your sitting bones, and lift up through the heart and the top of your head. Take full breaths in through the nose and full breaths out through the nose. We'll be here for a little bit longer and then we'll begin to move. Take one more breath. Excellent. From here, bend your legs, plant the feet down onto the mat. Knees up towards the ceiling, hands back behind your hips, and your fingers can face whichever direction feels best for you. So they can point forward to the side or back, and you can play around and see what feels best for you. When you are ready, let's ground down into the hands and into the feet. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and far apart and lift your hips and your heart up towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the hips just to tap the ground. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower to tap the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep your arms straight through this movement. We'll do a couple more just like this. Work with your breath. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Let's do one more. Good. From here, extend your legs straight out in front of you. Coming back into staff pose for just a moment. Hands can be down on your legs. You can close your eyes if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, keep them open. We'll just take a breath or two here. Good. Bend your legs, moving into a variation of that last posture or that last movement. Reverse tabletop. Now we're going to do it with one leg. So the left foot will plant down, hands are behind your hips. Again, your hands or your fingers can face whichever direction feels best for you. Ground down into the left foot as well as both hands. Lift your right foot up. Your right leg can be bent or straight. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower the hips to tap the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more just like that. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Good, bring the right foot down, hips come down, lift the left foot up, keep your hands just where they are. Inhale when you're ready, ground down into the right foot and both hands. Lift yourself up as you breathe in. Exhale, tap the hips down. 4 more. Last 3. 2 more. Last 1. Good. From here, lower the hips down. Bring the soles of your feet together and the knees out wide. If you have a block or whatever else you have in place of the block, you can place it on your feet. Find a nice long spine. Inhale. And then as you breathe out, fold down over your legs. Maybe resting the forehead down onto the block. We'll just be here in this forward fold for 1 more breath. Good. From here, lift yourself up. You can place your block off to the side once again. Come back into your setup for reverse tabletop. Hands behind the hips, feet planted down, feet are hip distance apart. Lift your hips up just a little bit off of the ground. And from here, bring your hips in between your hands towards the back of the room. From here, bring your hips towards your heels. And then bring your hips back towards the wall behind you. Continuing just like this a couple more times. Let's do 1 more. Good. From here, lower the hips down. Take a big breath here. Press down into your hands. Push the ground away from you. Lift your chest up. Good. From here, extend both legs long out in front of you. Ground down into your hands. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and far apart. Ground down through your hands and the heels of your feet to lift your hips up high towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the hips down to tap the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale to tap. 1 more just like that. Good. Lower the hips down. Bring your legs out into a wide-legged position. Find length through your spine. Sit up nice and tall. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. Flex all 10 toes up towards the ceiling, keeping your entire leg active and engaged. Good. From here, make your way on up to a standing position at the back of your mat. Once you are there, hinge forward from your hips. Send your hips back, reach your heart forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. You can bring your hands onto your shins. Find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant your hands down. Walk your hands out into plank pose. Exhale, walk your hands back to the back of your mat. Inhale, once you get there, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, walk your hands out to the front of your mat into your plank pose. Exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat to meet your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, continuing just like this. Inhale, walk your hands out to the front of your mat.
Exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, walk your hands out to the front of your mat. Exhale, walk your hands to the feet at the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. One more, just like that. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. Exhale, walk your hands to your feet at the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, strong through the spine. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands onto your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Bring your hands now together at your heart center. Send your hips towards the wall behind you and reach your heart forward as you hinge from your hips. Lowering down just about halfway, keeping the hands at the heart center. Inhale, press all the way back up to stand. Exhale, lower down halfway. The knees can be as bent as you need them to be here. We'll do about 5 more. Grounding down through the heels as you press yourself up to stand. Let's do 1 more. Good. From here, bring your arms just down next to your body. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now we'll use our block or whatever other object you have. Standing up nice and tall here. Bring the block in between your right heel and your right hip. So lifting the right foot up off of the ground, finding your balance here, and then placing the block lengthwise in between the heel and the hip. From here, bring your hands together at heart center. Bring your heel in towards your hip to keep that block in place. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Keep bringing the heel up towards the hip. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. Stand up nice and tall. Good. Let's release. And we'll try that on the second side now. So the left foot can lift up off of the ground, balancing here on the right leg. We'll place the block in between the left heel and the left hip. Lengthwise. Bring the hands together at heart center when you are ready. And continue to bring the left heel in towards the left hip. Lift the left heel up, keeping the block in place here. Lift the top of your head up towards the sky. Stand up nice and tall. Good, let's release. And we're going to do that 1 more time, and we're going to add on. So lifting the right foot up, placing the block in between the right heel and the right hip. Hands together at heart center. When you are ready, we're going to make our way into Warrior 3, keeping the block just where it is. So hinge from your hips. Keep bringing the right heel towards the right hip. Allow your torso to come parallel to the ground if you can. And then come back up to stand. We'll do that just 1 more time. Lowering down when you are ready. Finding your Warrior 3 shape. And then lifting back up. Standing nice and tall. Lift the top of your head up towards the sky. Release. Let's take 1 big breath before we do that on the second side. Good, so we'll balance on the right leg now. Lift the left foot up off of the ground. Bring the block in between the left heel and the left hip. And the block is lengthwise. Hands can come together at your heart center. Find length through your spine here. Lift the left heel up towards the left hip. From here, make your way into your warrior three. Hinging from your hips. Reach your heart forward a little bit. Come all the way back up to stand. Let's do that one more time. Find your balance. Find somewhere out in front of you to look at to help you with your balance. Come all the way up when you're ready. Lift the top of your head up towards the sky. And then from here, release the block and place it just down on the ground next to your mat. Arms next to the body. Let's take a few breaths here. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice how your body is feeling. Good. From here, make your way to the back of your mat if you are towards the front. Inhale, lift your arms up high to the sky. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, find length through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walk your hands out to the front of your mat. Lower your knees down and lower all the way down to the ground. From here, bring one hand over top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. Keep your left leg just where it is and lift your right leg up. Lower it down. Continue just like this. We'll do about 5 more. Let's do a couple more. Good. Release the right leg down. Leave the right leg just where it is. And we're going to do that now on the second side. When you're ready, lift the left leg up. Lower it down. Lift it up. And lower it. We'll do this about 5 more times. Last couple. Good. From here, fully release the left leg down. Forehead is down on the stacked hands. We'll be here for a couple of nice big breaths in and big breaths out. From here, we're going to do that same movement, only now we're going to lift and lower both legs up. So when you're ready, forehead down on the hands. Let's lift both legs up off of the ground and lower them back down. Lift and lower. And we'll do about 5 more. Last couple. Good. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up into a tabletop position on hands and knees. From your tabletop, step your left foot through in between your hands. And then tuck your right toes, your back toes under. Lift up the right knee. And then walk yourself over to face the long edge of your mat. The feet are parallel to one another, parallel to the short edges of your mat. Find length through your spine here. Bring your hands together at heart center. Slight bend here in the knees. Press down through your heels to come on up to stand. Inhale here. Exhale to lower down halfway. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to lower down halfway. If you would like to, you can bring your feet closer together or farther apart. Let's do about 3 more. This next time, when you lower down, stay there. Fully release down towards the ground. Hands come down to your mat. Release your head down towards the ground. Your knees can be as bent as you would like them to be. Think about lifting your hips up towards the sky a little bit more here. One more breath. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, walk your hands to the front of your mat. Lower the right knee down. Come into a tabletop position on hands and knees. From here, make your way into a seated position with the legs straight out in front. Staff pose. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Coming back to the pose that we started practice with. Perhaps noticing any changes, any shifts. Good. From here, keep your left leg straight out in front of you. Bend your right leg, cross the foot over to the outside of the left leg. Hug the right knee in towards you with the left arm. Reach the right arm up and bring the right hand behind your back onto the mat. Sit up nice and tall here. Ground down through the right foot and flex all 5 of the left toes. Perhaps see if you can hug the right knee a little bit more in towards your body to twist a little bit deeper. One more breath. Good. Come through center, and we'll do that on the second side now. So the right leg will be out long in front. Left foot will cross over the right leg to the outside of the right leg. Hug the left leg in towards you with the right arm. Sit up nice and tall here. Lift the left arm up. Bring the left hand behind your back, tenting up onto the fingertips to find more length through the spine. Ground down through the left foot and flex through all 5 of the right toes. Can you sit up even taller here? And maybe as you hug the left knee in towards your body a little bit more, you notice that you can twist a little bit deeper. One more breath. Good. Release. Bring the left leg out long in front of you and lower down onto your back. From here, bend your left leg so the left foot plants down onto the mat, and extend your right leg straight up to the sky. Fingers can interlace around the back of your right leg, your hamstring. Release your head, your neck, shoulders down onto the ground. Allow your entire back to rest down onto the ground as well. We'll take a couple more breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Good, let's now do that on the second side. So the right foot will plant down onto the mat. And when you're ready, you can extend the left leg straight up towards the sky. Fingers can interlace around the back of the left leg, the hamstring. If you need to have a bend in the left leg, by all means do that. Always finding the variation of the posture that feels right for you, taking into account how you are feeling. Full breaths in and full breaths out. One more breath. Release your left foot back down onto the mat. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Your legs are still bent. And bring your knees in to touch one another. You can stay here for your Shavasana, or if you would like to, you can extend your legs long, take up more space, get settled into your Shavasana. Make any adjustments that you feel you need to make in order to settle in. And then simply take this time here for yourself at the end of your practice. Rest here, and I'll guide you back in just a few minutes. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your body. finding whatever kind of movement feels good for you right now. Take all the time that you need to make your way over onto one side. And once you are there, I invite you to think of a few things that you are grateful for. And then you can press yourself up, coming into a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for being here and for checking out this yoga class. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I know it might have been something a little bit different, a little bit new, maybe a little bit challenging for you. But I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll come back to this class as often as you would like. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this class. And this way you won't miss out on any of my other classes. And you can also leave me a comment letting me know your thoughts about this class or anything else that you like. Thank you for being here once again. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.